How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. And as always, here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward to the point with no BS added in. The person's picture that you see on the screen now, his name is Clay Wirestone. And Clay serves as the Kansas Reflector's opinion editor, which of course is a publication in Kansas City. You notice I didn't say news publication. And just going by the picture of Clay, I'm guessing that Michelle Obama is more of a man than Clay is. So why am I talking about Clay Wirestone? Because in the publication that Clay writes for, he wrote an op-ed calling for the repeal of the Second Amendment and a total gun ban. So of course I'm going to talk about this frickin' idiot. We've heard this time and time again from the Democrats. No, we don't want to take away your guns. How many times has someone told you that in a discussion about gun control? And I can say quite a few times in the past. We all know where gun control leads. But the truth of the matter is that most gun control advocates will swear until they're blue in the face. Not only do they not want to ban guns, but neither does anyone else. Even if there are facts that are inconvenient, such as prominent anti-gun voices, literally saying no more guns. But that's just one person. Sure, that doesn't count, right? Except that's just not one person. And Clay Wirestone wrote in his op-ed and said the quiet part out loud. On February 20, 2024, Clay Wirestone wrote an op-ed called, "Get rid of guns in Kansas, Missouri, everywhere. Amend the Constitution and protect our kids." He went on to write, "Get rid of the guns. Change the U.S. Constitution, which we as a nation have managed 27 times already in this evolving democracy. Restore the Second Amendment to its original meaning, ensuring a well-regulated militia, and get rid of the guns. Take deadly arsenals out of private hands. No matter the firearm, no assault weapons, no handguns, no rifles. Melt them down and throw them somewhere deep in the ocean. Protect ourselves and our futures. People will break the law, you say. That may be, but we continue to make crack cocaine and recreational fentanyl illegal. Republicans claim they want to bomb Mexico over opioid trafficking, so pursue guns owned by individuals across this blood-stained nation with the same single-minded determination. Get rid of them here and now from everyone who would embark upon shooting sprees and those who fancy themselves responsible gun owners alike." So that's Clay's op-ed, or what they call an opinion piece. And let me remind Clay that opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. But right now, your opinion piece puts you at the top of the list of one of the biggest assholes I've ever seen. So what we have is this so-called columnist arguing that we should repeal the Second Amendment and then pass a complete and total gun ban. That's more than exists anywhere in the world, even in the most restrictive nations on the planet. There is still some sort of pathway to lawful firearm ownership, but the author of this piece of crap op-ed doesn't even want that. The author, Clay Wirestone, responds to the whole argument of criminals continuing to break the law by pointing out we still have laws against illicit drugs. This isn't an uncommon point of discussion, so let's talk about it. Yes, we still have drug laws, but they don't stop criminals from dealing drugs in any way. But drugs aren't something people use to protect their own life. Things like fentanyl cause massive harm to people who use it. There's no defensive purpose for the drug. Even then, there's a pathway for people to obtain it. Guns, on the other hand, are used to protect life, far more often than they're used to take it. Even the most pessimistic estimates show them used more than all gun deaths combined, including suicides. So on the contrary to the claim, the nation wouldn't be made safer with a total gun ban. All that would happen is that the bad guys would have guns, and no one else would. And that's if it worked perfectly. And it wouldn't. You thought crime and so-called gun crime is bad now. It would be at least 100 times worse. We must thank Clay Wirestone for one thing. It's always nice when they let the mask slip and stop pretending they actually don't want to. Repeal the Second Amendment and take away all of our guns. It's nice of them to be honest and admit they want to leave us defenseless before the hordes. And like I said earlier, Clay Wirestone said the quiet part out loud. The big question for Wirestone is why. He's so willing to trust the government to protect him. And we know our government isn't looking after our best interests. Because if they were, over the past 3+ years, they wouldn't have allowed millions of people into our country that we don't know who the hell they are or where they are. He's lashing out at the gun laws of this nation. because of what happened in Kansas City. So why not admit he's putting all the trust in cops who were at the scene and couldn't respond fast enough? Or the police officers who waited outside in Uvalde as the horrors unfolded within that school? Or that fat-ass school resource officer in Parkland who stayed outside while a massacre was being committed? And that's just crime. I haven't touched on a government going down the road of tyranny. I think we all can assume that this guy Wirestone isn't a Trump fan and figure all kinds of awful things will happen if he's elected. Why is he so willing to trust the government in such a case? I ask because that's what he's doing. The truth of the matter, though, that is, if this red-rimmed glasses-wearing, pencil-neck geek Wirestone thinks that's the answer, then by all means get to work. But I'm sure a constitutional amendment repealing the Second Amendment would be a much easier sell. So he should get cracking on it right away. Or he can just sit there writing for an organization that's been described as bought by people with a political agenda and do nothing, all while pretending he's the arbiter of morality on the topic of guns. And my guess, he's probably never shot a gun in his life. Let me know what you think in the comment section about Clay Wirestone and his red-rimmed glasses and his opinion piece. And as always, I appreciate everybody's support with the channel. You guys are always crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And I really do appreciate it. It does help the channel out and it helps it to grow. And I invite everybody to come back and watch my next video.